early. Heads making moves, going to work, coming from work. Brooklyn shit, man. What up, y'all? Textiles out here in the B. ROOKLYN. Making the moves, shaking the fools. Let me. Yo, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Air to the streets, Textiles, Brooklyn. Out here, close to Broadway and Myrtle. I remember Mos Def had that in the rhyme one time, right? That's just like 3 hours ago. It was dark, right? But he had a bar on a song. You might know it, you might not. I know a lot of heads, act like they don't remember bars, especially writers that be having these 5.2s and these 10.4s, and their fans. They'd be like, oh, nah. You probably never heard that. But Mos Def had a rhyme. He said, I'm black at midnight on Broadway at Myrtle. You know what I'm saying? And it really be dark over there, like, at night, because you got the track, you know what I mean? And, like, just as for some reason, like, the lights just don't really, like, they got street lights on, like, mostly every block. But, like, if you ever been on Broadway at Myrtle around midnight, you know what Mos Def is talking about. Again, I'm Textiles. I'm from BK. Grew up in the style, grew up in Fort Greene. Came up around some of the dopest MCs that I ever heard in my life. Been to numerous shows, events, seen the highest level, participated myself as being a dope-ass lyricist according to some people, Like, I had a rhyme. Let me spit this rhyme for you, right? Like, I don't subscribe to, a lot of the stuff in the rhyme, but the foundation of it is still, pretty much solid in my opinion. But I used to spit this rhyme back in the day, and people used to be like, yo, you type dope, like you could flow crazy, so I'm gonna spit this rap, all right? Now, before I spit this rap, man, appreciate y'all for liking this video and for y'all being a subscriber. If this is your first time here, hopefully my rap don't deter you. I don't usually spit raps on here, but this rap goes like this, right? It go live from Harlem. I'm gonna walk you through it, then I might spit it. I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's like I'm a weird dude when it comes to like rapping and shit. But in any event, it goes live from Harlot World, living in the last 20 minutes of time. Try to figure out how to explain it rhyme. What needs to be done to you is me, T. So listen carefully. Seek out the truth by any means necessary. That to me is first, like primary. This is not your ordinary rhyme. Consider this here a sign of warning, being born for you to heed to. Read through the passages of the master teacher with the double mind seeker. I guarantee you that if you write it, life will never be the same. See, by rearranging the game, Shaitan's got us insane lane, unable to maintain. But the true L through male Chazedek projects light for the mentally dead to pierce the iron skin of Leviathan, supplying them in with documents of liberation. Explaining what John was singing in Revelation. Not just accusations to increase segregation between us and the creators, but defense against our haters, the reformer, the true descendant of the Mahdi. Nobody can do it better, y'all. To the letter, y'all. From the original text comes knowledge for our intellects, guiding us to reject hail out and the 200 fallen disagreeable beings, calling us to be servants of sin. A build of the righteous nation and destroying the devil civilization, bring about peace, unity, and save the streets. So, inshallah, like the goody mob say, and walking that light to the brighter day end. It's the only way out of this hell we're in. I hope you're listening and not just hearing. Trying to win, trying not to sin, trying to pierce the iron skin of Leviathan. I mean, that's when I was on my God body, studying the wild bull type conscious, black power type vibes, many years ago. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, you're probably like, that nigga's weak, that was trash, that was garbage. But got people that like it. I done shut down Cyphers with that when I had it down pat to like really intricate flows and, So I had that kind of rap. Then I had like other kind of raps and shit too. Like my first rap I ever wrote was like Niggas best beware when I'm on the rampage. Test if you dare. Shadow blaster got the 20 gauge. Yellow belly, niggas be yellow like the pages. Little ass fellows eating beats, nut stages. I go through phases. Many styles are changing. You think I was from Cybertron with all the transformations? No relations to none of you bitch ass rappers. But bed stop, Bucktown, home, mother gun clapper. Son, I'll jab ya, slap ya, have ya, feel the effect, feel for an lyrics, start to whack you harder than 10 Dutch masters with mad boom in them. Watch me consume them, bring more to the battle, watch my crew run through them. You know what I'm saying? That was my first rap. And I wrote that rap because my niggas was rapping and it was nice. And they was like, oh, that was dope, that was dope. So I mean, I kept going. I mean, I wrote, this chick start with the tricks up her sleeve. Crazy ass crippled kid since I was conceived. Born on the cold day in the winter. Torn on the MCs when they try and get into. I bite and scratch all of my prey. You cannot detach these rhymes that I lay. My rhyme stains coming down like acid rain. Hardcore to your brain, kaboom, making you insane. Yes, sir, let's go get toast to the utmost. Fly man high like Sean Kemp off the post, big L's. I roll them up in the park. Slide to the dark, let the nigga lock spark. Light it up, no hesitation at the station. When you pump the herb, you feel a soothing sensation. That's what you get with my generation. Another 40s in creation. And another 40 in creation, that was AFC, because our crew was called Another 40 Coming. And that's another 40s in creation, because I was just starting to rap. And they was already AFC. They had already done shows. They did a show with ODB in Lower Manhattan. Like around SOBs, I can't remember the spot, you know, but my guys, they were already moving. Like I had moved back to the Star not moved back to the Star, but I had moved downtown, and after being away for some time, I was like, you know, I always used to yearn to be in my old neighborhood, so I would go to the hood, and you know, my guys at this time, you know, going from childhood to adolescence and started developing the pen game. So I just got right in line and started working. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm gonna start rapping. Like, you know what I mean? We did everything else, like, and you know, as far as like being, you know, youngins in the hood, playing ball, you know, tag, you know, ring bells and run, all that kind of stuff, you know. All everything, you know what I mean? So then the rapping came about. It was like, yeah, let's get to it. So that's what started that. You know what I mean? And in the midst of that, I had, you know, OGs in my hood that had record deals, that had been known battlers, stuff like that. Like my guy Rick, right? He used to run with Gangstar and them guys, Premier and them guys, and it was a rumor, you know, or the legend that Lord Finesse and my OG Rick had battled, because Rick was a puncher. You feel me? And this was in the early 90s at least. I mean at most. You feel me? Like Rick was punching in like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. You know what I mean? JC was good. Marvay was good. Let me see. It all sounds good when you put a beat on it. They want you to feel sick. They want you to feel. I got bars. JC was good. Yeah, definitely. My joints definitely sound good with the beat. Like I'm almost a beast on the beat. I still am a beast on the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like if you spit, if I was to like not try to just let you hear like poetically, you definitely, you know, like what was that joint? Niggas best be brave when I'm on the rampage. Test if you did, shot the blast, I got the 20 gauge. Yellow billy, nigga be, yellow to pay. Yellow mad, yellow be, not they, go to pay. Many times I change, they get thing about the nah. But yeah, for sure. You know, and as I grew with rapping, I actually started, like I remember, but let me get back to the story with Rick, like, cause that was leading into more battle rap stuff. Like Rick was like that first dude that I knew of in a town, and his name was Cap Six. Then he had another name, the Unknown Soldier, and he actually, like, this is documented. He made a song called Dope on Plastic, right? And I'm not sure what name he was using when he made the song Dope on Plastic, but I'll look it up, put the link in the description, and share it with you guys. But this when I was a kid, like I didn't really know what was going on. He used to just be a dude that I knew from my neighborhood that used to try to mess with my older cousins and stuff like that. You feel me? They went to school together, you know. She lived with us and stuff. She came from Panama. She stayed, lived with me and my mom. And I remember being a youngin', on the block on Hancock, being chased by the older guys. We used to fight them, jump them. They used to, beat us up or whatever. But like, that was one of the ways how we played in the hood. You know what I mean? And like, no funny shit, like Biggie Smalls and them was like part of that older guys in the Bed-Stuy that was used to run around. And Rick was one of them older guys too in the town. And I always knew him. He always lived on my block. His big sister from the hood, you know what I mean, the whole family. So, you know what I mean? I didn't really know the music part till I started to get like familiar afterwards. So, a lot of the dudes around his age used to clown him because he sold his publishing. Feel me? He sold his publishing on Dope on Plastic to somebody overseas, far as I hear the story goes. So he never really made no chicken off that. You know what I mean? So, they used to kind of clown him, but nobody can see him with the pen. But you had challenges, you had different dudes that would go at him, like my guy Jerry. Jerry, he right now, he's doing a lot of work in the music business overseas, like in the Swiss area and stuff like that, Switzerland, Norway, stuff like that. So if you out that way and you rock with me, you want to connect and do some shows and stuff out of Switzerland, holla at me, because my guy, he deals with big artists, from the U.S., from all over that come out there. And, you could get plugged right in if you're not plugged in, you know what I mean? If you up to par, you meet the standards, the qualifications, and stuff like that, we all connected. It's not not no fluky. This is the real truth. Like, it's my guy, Jerry, And Jerry had a good pen. He had a lot of raps. Just remembering that now, Jerry was an old head to me, right? Who had a bunch of raps. Like, he had books, like books and books of raps. You know what I'm saying? So Jerry was dope too, but he didn't get a lot of love from the hood because they didn't think he was like that street. Feel me? Then you had, who else used to rap with Rick? You had House. House right now is making beats, right? House right now is making beats, working with some artists that, on the underground. And, when it comes to beats, man, the beats are good for everybody. Feel me? Somebody got a missing dog, so, feel me? So, my son, everybody is still making moves. My guy, House, like I said, can't remember the name of his beat company, but again, that's something I should go and grab and tag and throw in here so y'all could know what I'm saying. Like, I come from this hip hop, and like House, I remember House had a bar back in the day. I was at a block party. House was chilling. He was vibing, and I went over to the cypher to spit my little raps. And House was the one right now who had the fire. It was House was killing it. So it's like, House, just go. Then I remember House at some bar, he was like, something. The guy got more 16s than high schools. I heard that before I heard Jay-Z and them say that through my son House. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, to me, I was like, oh my gosh. Nigga said, I got more 16s than high schools. This is in the 90s. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And that's how true it is, because I remembered it, like, etched in my brain. Augustine, what's good, my guy? Augustine, dope, man. My son Augustine, music on SoundCloud. Check that out. He got some fire songs on there, for real. Real talk. Word. So, nothing good in my hustle and spit in my rhyme. I feel you, Ma. Ma Ivy, man, salute to you. Something is good in the hood, man. You in your hood, man. Word. DeKalb Library. Feel me? Out here, DeKalb Library, obviously, it's not open yet. They probably, what's today, Tuesday? Probably open like 10 o'clock. Probably open like 10. I hate, like, I like the library, right? But, like, I used to get in the zone and want to pull up to the library, like on a frequent, and then I remember a couple times, like the library being far from me, and try to pull up like 10, 11, and then it'd be like Wednesday. Usually a Wednesday, the libraries. If it ain't the main library, we got a huge main library outside of Prospect Park, uh, near like Park Slope in Brooklyn, like Prospect Heights, and that's open. That probably opens up early every day, pretty much every day. Even on Sunday, it might be it opens up. But Wednesdays, the shit don't open till like 1 o'clock. And so you'll pull up like, yeah, I'm going to the library. I'm gonna get some work done. I might write some shit down. I might do a couple things, and shit, you assed out tight, you know. But then it might be another library a few blocks down that might be open. It all depends. You gotta check the schedule. Don't get caught up. Real talk. Bushwick Leaders. I don't know. I think that's a school. I don't. Yeah, it's got to be a school. School? School? It's got to be a school. But yeah, man. So those are a couple of my OGs. Rick, House, Jerry. You know that we had guys that were closer to my age that I could talk about. Fast forward down. But before I even fast forward down, Rick was the guy I was talking about on another blog. He battled my guy that was my contemporary. You know, we used to try to go at Rick, but Rick had this style that I still can't do to this day. Well, I haven't locked it down yet to this day, where he's like, recently I've been holding back on the style that I've been turning up on my there were biters. And then, I don't even want to tell y'all it, because I don't know, he might still have that down pat right now today. I might have to go grab that. I might need that, throw that in the arsenal. You know? Word. So them two dudes, them three dudes, you got my guy, IT, June Rock, who was more closer to my age, you know, who really had a different kind of poetic style, was more along the Nas kind of style. And he had some shit with him where he would be like, I remember one joint where he was beat on his chest, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. And he'll tell you beat on your chest, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And he'd be like, ba-boom, like, Rebecca, 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 Rebecca. You know what I'm saying? And he had to rhyme and he'd rap to that beat right there on the chest, Rebecca. You know what I mean? And that shit was so crazy. I was like, yo, this nigga is amazing, son. And then he had this other rhyme. I can't remember the whole verse, but I just remember the one line where he was like, I seen her back in the days rocking the lease. Well, she was into quiet, guess I was into smoking trees. Believe. And I was like, wow, like that's dope. I'm like, you not signed. Like, these dudes is not signed or nothing. I'm like, yo, these niggas got amazing flows, raps, cadences, bars, everything. Like, niggas was dope, you know what I'm saying? So it just inspired me to keep going. And, you know, my guys that I got around who were doing it, my guys from, you know, that I knew, like a lot of them were like my Sandlot buddies, you know, some of them who had came along afterwards, you know, TikTok, there goes the clock. Yeah, you listening to Tex and he from NA Rock. Yeah, went from boys to men. Back in the days in the hood, I'd be with Poison Pen. Me and him would be at shows together, but never really was on stage spitting flows together. I remember he came in and see me on the stage though. I said, NA Rock, he said, NA Rock, that's how that thing go. Yeah, and I used to go see him all the time. Him and Strong Holland, all the guys. My nigga Lifelong, my nigga Breeze. Yeah, that was his team. It was like two other guys, I can't remember the name, but Poison Pen and those guys, they remain in the game to this day. I'm spitting off the top just to show you that I was born to rock. Know what I mean? I'm in the hood close to the Port of Rocks and Dominicans. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when Marcus Camby was playing for the Minutemen. Uh-oh. What's this? Wow. Certain berries. Okay. TheDullyBoys.com. But yeah, so yeah, where was I? Yes. So yeah, this was around the time now Redman, like around now fast forward around the time Redman was doing an install to in the hood, and my guys that I was rapping with, one of them, uh, Joker, he's doing a lot still right now. He's doing some visual work, a lot of visual work for people and stuff like that. He's remember he wanted to battle Redman. I don't know if Redman remembers this. He might remember it because I know it's a funny ass story, right? Like Redman came to the style to do the install, and Joker he wanted to battle Redman, and he got so drizzed, like he got so wasted, like trying to prepare, like smoking and drinking, that he was overwhelmed. Redman was at the top of the game when by the time this was like there's a dark side and shit like that, if I'm not mistaken. Redman was really like, doing the big numbers, and Joker was like kind of like spilled all over Redman, like blah 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 blah. Redman's like, yo, get your man. You know what I'm saying? And my guy Jerry, ironically, Jerry was there too. So real, yo, Jerry had like some Dutchess or something in his hand, and like, yo, Redman, where's that? You only talking to weed? And he had like a little, and then like Redman opened his jacket, man, like I got body bag, man. What you talking about? And kept it pushing, like go inside went inside the beat. What was that? Bird L's. I think that was Bird L's on Fulton Street, Fulton and Nostrand. Same place where Foxy Brown did her install. Not too long after. Like installs was the wave. Like we didn't have, the internet like that where you could like just go streaming. Like you had to go make your way in the towns, go to the towns and touch the people. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen Aaliyah in an install. I've seen Gangsta on them do an install. Pull up and autograph your CD. I done been to Busta Rhymes install. Ask Busta Rhymes, yo, can I be down with Flip Mode? Like that ass, like at the install, literally Busta Rhymes signing the autograph, talk about, yo, call the label like Electra, like I had a matter of fact, it was a tape. It wasn't even a CD. This was the tape. I believe this was the Flip Mode tape. If not, it was like around Busta's second or third album. I think it was the second album, but I don't even remember. But I went to Busta install and he gave me that CD, he gave me that tape. You feel me? Autographed it. That's just and was like, yeah, if you want to be down, basically if you want to be down with Flip Mode, because I really was on my Busta Rhymes. I really was a Busta Rhymes fan, crazy. I thought that he was super dope. I think that he had like a freestyle presence, and I kind of favored them, growing up. So I used to bug out, people used to be like, yeah, you wild dude, so we used to be like 1, 2, 3, we gonna turn that down until the me and my boy Shahi, we used to act like Busta Rhymes and Rampage, Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star, you know what I mean? We used to really put on shows in the hood, like for the people, like just in fun, you know what I mean? Just things like that, man. You know what I mean? So, back to my influences and stuff like that, my guy Kimani, he the one who had put me on really to like the underground radio. And if you're familiar with my page, you seen I took a picture the other day with Stretch Armstrong. And that was crazy to me because the day before I took that picture with Chef and had a little clip with Stretch Armstrong, I just rapped his name as me acting like Busta Rhymes the night before in front of the Biggie mural. Like I'm in front of the Biggie mural and I'm like doing Busta Rhymes verse from the Death Squad meets Flip Mode Squad, where he's like, big up to my nigga Stretch Armstrong. And the next day I'm walking past that mural, Stretch Armstrong was walking past the mural, bro. Like that was dope. That was dope for me. You know what I mean? In the midst of all these people saying all we do is think about Cassidy. Anyway, you feel me? While Cassidy has put out music every freaking day since the 7th of July. Today's the 5th. If today's the 16th, happy birthday to my cousin, my big cuz, man. my big cousin that actually grew up with me in the hood, who verifies the stuff, who who was there with Biggie. Like literally on the 16th, I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna see my cousin soon. She just turned 50. I'm gonna see her soon, and I'm going to do my damnedest to get some live verification of an accounts with like Biggie Smalls, because Jan, she's still cool with Jan to this day. And if you're not familiar with Jan, and when I'm talking in context of Biggie, Jan is Biggie Smalls' first baby mother. Jan is Tiana's mama. You know when you hear Jay-Z say, "Well, I got us to Tiana, man." Well, Tiana mom is Jan. Jan used to pull up to my apartment, my mom's apartment, in the style when I was a youngin', when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I didn't really realize it till years and years and years and years later, you know. And the proof in the pudding, because you know a lot of people think people just get on here and they talk shit or don't know what they fuck they talking about, this, that, and the third, whatever, right? The proof in the pudding for me is, I mean, for you would be to holler at Jen. Like, you think I'm a lie? Like, why would I lie on these people? Like, so let's just get that out the way. I just want to say that for the haters who, you know, decide to, or the critics who, you know, just make up narratives and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I actually saw Jan at Santos, you know, a party space some years back where there was a Biggie memorial party, right? And I saw Jan and I was like, yo, Jan. So you might not realize, you might not know who I am. I told her my cousin's name, and I said, used to come to my house all the time. She grabbed me and she gave me like the biggest hug. You know what I'm saying? And that was love for me, because I was like, I remember her when I was a kid, but I didn't put the two and two together as the name. Yeah, Jan. My mom's was the one who was over them. So of course, as far as like she is my mom's house, you feel what I'm saying? So if, you know, she had to leave or whatever, I knew who she was coming to my crib. Niggas only me and my mom's. And my cousin and her friend Jan would pull up and stuff like that. And it just so happened to be Biggie Smalls' baby moms. Feel what I'm saying? So you know, I'm just in awe of all of, you know, what had happened over the years, because I had seen Biggie while he was out, but I didn't know he was so closely related to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I didn't know that my other cousin Al, you know, that was his man. Like when they were little kids, they were not. You know what I'm saying? That was, when they were kids, they grew up together. They grew up, went to the same elementary school that I ended up going to, and we may have been in the school at the same time. Like he might have been in sixth grade, I might have been like in kindergarten or something like that. Possibly, I'm not sure. I had to do the math and shit like that. But yeah, definitely was around. And so, you know, my guy Kimani, my guy Trey, and my guy Boogie, along with Joker, my YG PJ, you know, all were doing their different things with rap. You know, my guy Mo, a bunch of guys in my around me, like my Sandlot guys. And my guy, one of my guys is a drummer still right now, been a drummer since back in the day, an amazing drummer. Speaking of Malachi York, and then when I was spitting all them bars about building the devil civilization and about destroying the devil civilization, and I'm saying we can bring about peace, unity, and stay for streets. So inshallah, like the Goody Mob say, inshallah, Goody Mob and them had that song. Salute, yo. Alright? Goody Mob and them had a song called Inshallah. Like, I can slow that rhyme down for you. Everything in there makes sense, but you know. And around that time, like, I was a Goody Mob fan. I was like, CeeLo was like heavy conscious bars, spitting on that same type of time that I was spitting that rhyme. And around that time, it was accepted, but it wasn't like mainstream. So I spit that rap for a few people in like the mainstream world, and they got it. They rock with it. They was like, yeah, you got flows and and what have you. But yeah, my guys, you know, out of my guys, the guy Kimani, aka Flip, you know, he got a couple songs out there right now, I believe. He's still doing his thing. He battled Super Nat when he was like 14, 15 years old. So if cats talk about like battle rap when it's come to like me, my nigga, my right hand, and it's one of my mentors and group mates, and my personal first like real rap group battled Supernatural, right? The Supernatural, when he was like 14, 15, inside of Washington Square Park on a 420, right? Battled him. So, you know, and so when people say that Cass couldn't have, not to keep harping back on Cass, because I ain't, but to bring in Cassidy in a certain aspect, when they say that he can't have 5,000 battles, people are delusional to say that he can't. Even if he doesn't, people are delusional to say that he can't. So I was a little bit appalled when I saw Dave B said like how you can have 5,000 battles, because he grew up in a different era. He not from them times. Mason, them dudes probably could have had thousands of battles for us. You know what I'm saying? If they was on that type of time. But those guys in that era, I'm sure can tell you about somebody from Harlem that done had thousands of battles. I know DMX had to have thousands of battles. You feel me? Because DMX was a dude that I never saw in my life back in the day, but my guys from my group used to be uptown to come down and be like, yo, this dude Earl, man. This dude Earl is amazing. Like, he killing the dude. And like, he's crazy. You feel me? So I know that it's possible. I know from my own life of walking streets like this and spitting freestyles for 15, 20 minutes straight. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you this, I don't have no reason to lie. My cousin could tell you, like, my cousin to this day, they'll tell you like they wish that I would rap. Like, they want me to come out with music. I might have to just do something for them, for 2 to 3, 4, 5 people that want to hear me, because of the moments that were created. Walking from downtown Brooklyn to Bed-Stuy, spitting freestyles, walking up Fulton Street the whole way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, making sense. Spitting real, like, you know what I mean? It just was that vibe. For some reason, it happened. We were able to do it. Like, Kimani could freestyle to the point where you wouldn't know if he was freestyling or writing. And then, like, we used to say, like, Spawn, transforming the Spawn. His alter ego was Spawn. And then he'd have a deeper cadence. And it seemed like he went to another dimension with the bars. You know what I mean? And he'll go crazy. And I got that, like, from him freestyling for hours and hours. That's where I got the listening to Stretch Armstrong and the Big L's, freestyles and stuff like that from my guys like Kimani, because he was a child phenom, would open his notebook in the middle of the street while rapping in a cypher or in a battle and still put in work. Still win the battle. Y'all got moments like that. Y'all know dudes. This look like the sun is coming up. Shit, the sun been up. Outlaw, what's good, my guy? Word, salute to Outlaw. Sun been up. Early days, man, out here, So, we had my guys in that room. And then when I got really good, like, and to me, I started going at them. I started going at my guys. Almost like with Ace Amin with the Goonies. He said, because we interviewed Ace Amin over at Battle Rap Rankings, right? And Ace Amin was like, man, I'll battle all them dudes. All of them could get this work. So I got to that point with my crew, with my AFC guys, another 40 coming, and not only did we have AFC had a sister group, right? Even though there were no females in it, so you might as well call it a brother group called Malignant, Mal Pro. And I just peeped the metaphor in Mal Pro this year. Mal is like almost like negative, like malevolent, and pro is like positive, right? And I wonder if those guys, but they probably did set that up like that, because those guys were like diabolical. Like you had one dude named Psych, one dude named Possess, one dude named No Name. Oh man. And Mystic. Yeah, those are my guys, man. From Flatbush. And when we clashed, it was like Death Squad meet Flip Mode Squad. Like 2 different crews that were fire. And like, man, we used to have so much fun and, work so hard on the music. And I actually met those guys before I was introduced to them, because they were working in a studio in Bed-Stuy And I went through that studio and they were there. So I met them there, like, okay, what's up with y'all? All right, we got some Flatbush, we doing music out of here, then boom, boom, boom. All right, boom, that's what's up. So years later now, like a couple years later, I connect with my guys Kimani and them, and we doing music. And Kimani actually went to school with one or two of those guys, and we went to Flatbush to link them. It happened to be those guys. So I'm like, hold up, I recognize y'all. They're like, oh, yeah, I used to work out at the Style, messing with Dave, my son Dizzo, right? Sound Travel, aka man, one of the illest engineers ever out of NY, man, out of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they went through there. A lot of people work with my guy Dave. You know what I'm saying? Like Dave had Rockness Monster in there working just a couple years ago, if not still to this day. Tech from Smith and Wesson, you know, my guy Lord Vital, you know, put out the project Vital Information, you know, and that was a guy I worked with directly. As we fast forward just some more into my timeline, because like with me, you know, stepping up and saying, you know, I feel like I'm getting better than my guys, and even if I wasn't, I just was growing in confidence. I had been listening to different raps and different flows, and I remember Jay-Z having a joint with that Jigga what, Jigga who, and I stole that whole flow. I was like, I said, what did I say? I'm gonna get into another rap. That Jay-Z flow. That Jay-Z flow. Oh yeah, right? Cause this one of the peoples that hear me rap, they be like, yo, you gotta spit this one right here for me, man. Like they'll start rapping it and like, yo, son, you gotta spit that joint. And I'll be like, y'all funny as hell, but you know, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like it humbles me to know that people like raps that I've written. All right, so this rap, I said, fighting for green like I'm Notre Dame. Y'all niggas better smell the folders, man. I'm out on the bullet of the dozer, man. Now my niggas up with the Novocaine. I'm a soldier, man, in the war for life. Hold more flow than the border, man. Hold my law, here we go again. Here cause the God control the game. God's hold the game. See the soldiers aim. When they shoot, don't miss. Face to feet. See the boots on Chris. Timberland, step timber man. Make a nigga just fall. Feel like brrr, nigga just fall. Can't handle the rock. Gotta creep, figure crawl. Crawl, figure walk. Forest gum. Roll up the weed in the forest trunk. How many shots from the pump, figure bone? How many niggas getting high, get drunk, get high, get good, get drunk. Everyone do you, bad boy, throw dubs on the truck. Throw dubs on the truck. Do you, bad boy, throw dubs on the truck. I said that because my guy Dubs had a song out, Chris Dubs, called Do You, Bad Boy. So that last line was owed to my guy who I thought was super dope, who came up through like the Billy Dancers and the Lil Fame and them guys. Those were like his guys. Like, and we ended up linking up. So, you know, we were building our own little network of guys. So I had to show love to my son Dubs. Throw dubs on the truck. Do you, bad boy? You know. So I said, fighting for green like a Notre Dame. Y'all niggas better smell the Folgers, man. I'm out on the bully, not a dozer, man. Now my niggas up with the Novocaine. I'm a soldier, man, and a war for life. And the whole more flow than the water, man. Oh my lord, here we go again. Hey, cause the God control the game. God's on the game. See the soldiers aim. When they shoot, don't miss. Nigga face to feet. See the boots on Chris. Nigga Timberland. Steps timber man. Make a nigga just fall. I feel like brrr, nigga just fall. Hand to the rock. Gotta creep, figure crawl. Crawl, figure walk. Like the forest gump. Roll up the weed in the forest drum. How many? I only got 2 likes. I mean, I had like 6 or 7 people watching. I salute y'all though. I appreciate y'all though. Maybe you don't like the flows, but you know, all the stories. But if you do, you know, show your love. Show your love. Or maybe you like the artwork, you know. But yeah, you know, so I was on that type of time with the rhymes, you know, and people was jacking it. They was like, nah, you can rap, boy. You can rap, boy. As the J train pulls through. You know? They said you can rap, boy. But along with the rapping came the want and need to understand the business. Because it's a story I'm gonna get into in depth on another one of these one day. I'm gonna talk about it. You know, I ended up meeting Jay-Z. You know, and maybe I could talk about it now, you know what I mean? We about 40 minutes in. I'll probably go for another 20 minutes and just have that out there. Didn't even intend for this, you know. It's like a freestyle. This is a whole freestyle live, and I appreciate you, whoever, you know, appreciate you for popping on and for hanging out, and you know, the traffic in the jam and jam on my toast, man. Wait a minute, let me see that. It said traffic in the jam and jam on my toast. If you try to bring havoc to my fam, I'm gonna have my hand on my toast. Matter of fact, I'm blaming it. Go. All right. But yeah. So, I meets Hova, right? Jay-Z. Jigga. But this is before he blew up, right? This would be way before that. This is when Ralph McDaniels, VJ Ralph McDaniels was playing In My Lifetime. I need to see a whole lot of dough. He's playing that on his show. He's playing that on his show. I'm saying I can't get with that. I gotta get with this. Never mix up. Do. So this is them era Hova, right? So when I see the dude, I get his attention now. Somebody know Jay-Z, man, how to reach him, man. Telling him to skip to 38 minutes, 39 minutes in. And give me 5 minutes, man. Just take a look and listen. And so that way he can know this is the truth, man. And just reshare it somewhere, man. But like, yeah, so Jay-Z is walking through around there, 560 State Street. That's before I knew what 560 State Street was going to be 560 State Street, right? That's before Barclays Center was even up, erected, pause, right? Living downtown Brooklyn, there's a snowy day. I believe it was February. I believe it was the same day as the Mike Tyson fight. Because later on that day, my bro Darius, who's also a part of the group Anonymous John, ironically, I left him out as the chemtrailers start working early, right? My guy Darius, pardon me. My guy Darius went to a fight. I think it was a Tyson fight that night, you know, and I think he saw Hova that night at the fight, Jay-Z. But in the daytime, Jay was walking through the hood, and I'm living downtown at this time, and I see Jay-Z, and I'm like, the same way like how I ran into Stretch Armstrong, he's walking past, right? So as he walks past, I'm like, yeah. And he turns around, him and another person, who I think is Ski Beats, and I think that I just realized that in like 2018, because I never knew who it was. I know it wasn't Dame, because in hindsight I would see Dame and different stuff around on videos and things like that, and I knew it wasn't the dude that was with Jay-Z. So I think it was Ski Beats. He also was down from the town as well. I'm just realizing that too, right? But Jay, when I said yeah, he turned around. I said, "You the hottest nigga that don't get no airplay." He smiled, like he was like, "Oh shit, like facts," and walked towards me. And then I was walking towards him, and I dapped him up. You know what I mean? And I told him, you know, we working on our thing over here, the Dynasty, you know. So I don't know if he got inspiration for the Dynasty from us or not, but I told him, you know, we working on that thing over here, Dynasty Clientele, you know, ATM, you know, we over here by the buildings, and, you know, it is what it is. He gave me a card. He told the dude that was with him, yo, give him a card. The card had the Rockefeller logo on the front, had some, like, numbers on the back, but it was like, it said John Street, and he said, holla at hip hop. Right? On everything. He said, holla at hip hop. And I kept it moving, and I'm hyped. So I'm like, I go back to my town, and I'm like, yeah. Damn, it's getting hot out here, boy. It's getting hot out here. Quick. And so I tells my peoples, yo, I met the dude Jay-Z downtown, man. He said, holla at hip hop. I'm about to call the label, man. So I called the label. Ask for hip hop. And that story I'll continue on another blog. I appreciate y'all for rocking out. Next video, we're going to have some more shit to talk about.